Hey guys, how's it going? What do I need to do to get this on my Patreon? Here we go. Let's try this link. All right, finally I'm on Patreon. All right, finally I'm on Patreon. All right, finally. All right. So this video isn't going to be edited down. So hopefully someone joins. Otherwise, it's literally going to be me sitting here editing. I am 2 minutes and 22 seconds into the show. I decided might as well pop on live if you guys are bored and want to hang out. Utilize the chat in YouTube. So follow the link, go to YouTube, and go ahead and say something and reply. Don't forget about this Cloud City soundtrack. This probably looks backwards to you, but trust me, it's normal in real life. Just let me know that you subscribe to both my Patreon and the Cloud City soundtrack Patreon, and you could win this. It's only $1 over there at Tony's page. So for $2, you get entered into that drawing. So just send me a DM on Twitter or Facebook. If you have my phone number, text me that you are subscribed to both, and I'll enter you in that. Make sure you do it by May the 4th, just a random date I picked. And yeah, you can you could win that. All right, I'm gonna continue editing the podcast. Eating monsters. I don't know. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll let you know via Instagram. I woke up early and I called in sick to work last night, and decided that I would do some laundry, and Stevie went out to breakfast, and while she's out to breakfast, I'm editing, and then I decided might as well go live. So let me do this for Instagram. Go live, checking connection. Hey everyone, I am doing a live show, I guess you would call it, over on my Patreon. So go to patreon.com/CasinoSkunk, and I will be editing Monday's Kaiju podcast. So if you guys want to join me there, come hang out and chat and ask questions and listen to me edit. I'll give you a preview on the show coming up on Monday. Head over to patreon.com/CasinoSkunk. It's $1, and $1 will allow you to see this live stream. It'll also unlock every single audio podcast that I've ever done for the Patreon. I think I'm on episode 40 something. And also, if you do $2, you can watch any video content from Patreon as well as listening to all of them. So check that out. Head over to patreon.com/CasinoSkunk now and listen to me edit the latest Kaiju podcast. Bye. That was fun. Let me get you guys knowing about this on Facebook. Gotta edit this. I'm just wasting time. I should be editing. Cool. Everyone's set. Everyone knows. Let me do Twitter quick, and then we'll be good to go. I don't even know if anyone's in here, if there's anyone to talk to. Let us edit.
Yeah.
I guess we haven't really seen a lot of these. Like, we've seen the Blob, and we've seen them, and then this.
Yeah.
I think are kind of the Americanized, like, American monster movies that we've seen. And I just realized that they kind of have that thing where it's just giant puppets as opposed to
Sure.
kaiju. Like there's no
Costumes.
yeah, but there's no. I guess the giant claw
Yeah.
had a little bit of that.
That's our Rodan.
Shit, perfect. That's what I always wanted.
This says a lot.
Now I had never really. I haven't seen this movie before, and
No, I always would. I'd skip it because it looks like it's a caterpillar.
Yeah,
And I was like, I don't really get the caterpillar appeal or the scariness of a caterpillar.
yeah.
But
The reason why the reason why we watched it. Usually we just kind of before we record our episodes, kind of decide what we want to watch next. Someone on our YouTube page suggested this movie.
great.
After they saw, I believe Space Amoeba, they said, "Oh, you got to check this out." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" I don't think I would ever pick it on my own, but I'm glad I watched it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it, especially one aspect. I've really enjoyed it, especially one. Really enjoyed it, especially one aspect to it. Well, first of all, it's not a caterpillar, as it turns out.
But
I mean, it looks like a cat. Turns out.
But
I mean, it looks like a caterpillar.
But it is.
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely like going, it's a mollusk.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't see it until the end.
Yeah, they did a thing where like they were really trying to make snails look scary.
Yeah.
They're like running all that footage of snails devouring things.
Uh-huh.
And it was like, yeah, but they're snails. They don't scare me.
And I don't think they would survive in salt water.
Well, there are sea snails.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Those do exist.
Oh, going back a little bit, the font.
It's a good question. Never thought about that. How do you fight those guys?
Yeah.
Go on.
The font for the movie, like with the title of the monster that challenged the world.
Yeah.
It was just like a regular like Times Roman numeral font.
Yeah.
Like it was just like boring.
Yeah.
I was waiting for it, especially with the buildup where it was like it looked like it was the sun setting, but it was the title, and it came, this blob like coming towards the screen. I'm like, ooh, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be a big kind of goopy, spooky font. And it was just like normal.
Yeah, it definitely has to be like a thing that the monster that challenged the world probably wasn't the script title.
No,
and
there's
not a lot of editing going on. It's actually a pretty tight episode so far.
They just, all right, I got to put this out. All right, this is the mollusk doesn't work. The monster, and they're like, and it's like that conquered. It didn't. No, come on, just didn't quite conquer. Challenge. It's like the monster that stumped us for a moment.
Yeah, I guess it was challenging.
Very like, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, okay, listen, if you're to go head to head against this, it seems like it sucked. Because you would get shriveled.
Yeah.
That sucks. But I think for the most part, if you kept your distance, it's a snail. It's going to go pretty slow.
Yeah, it seems, that it was hard to figure out how easy it is to puncture it. But I know caterpillars and snails are really soft-bodied. And they didn't kind of address, like, the, like, how thick his skin was.
Yeah, his eye isn't that thick.
No.
And it killed that one, right? The movie's kind of tough because they keep saying them, but we only see one at a time.
Right.
So I don't think we ever see more than one at a time, except for when the production finally finished working on their submerged snail shells. They put those in at the end.
Right, but still, then only one of them lifts up and takes a peek.
So it was, yeah, it's like the title knew that it was only one monster when the movie was trying to convince us it was more than one.
Yeah.
It wasn't until they showed like different ones at different locations. I mean, clearly the same puppet, but we didn't know that there was more than one.
I had some acting issues.
Didn't know that there was more than one.
I had some acting issues with this movie.
Okay.
No one on the phone had someone else on the phone. Like you could,
Oh,
people
they
were
were just acting
responding to people.
themselves.
They were just saying stuff. People were responding to, like, not even giving anybody time to say something on the other end, and just responding to them. And there's also a lot of scenes where it's like the actors were there waiting to act. Where like there's just certain things that look so staged.
Yeah.
Like the guy walks in the door of the morgue, and the people are standing there of the morgue, and the people are or of the morgue, the morgue, the or of the morgue. Or of the morgue, and the people of the morgue, and the people are standing there, and then he walks in the door, and they're just standing still. And as soon as he walks in, they go, "So what you're saying is, blah 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 blah," you know?
Yeah.
Or like the guy who's like pretending to be doing something at the file cabinet, and then he walks around to the desk so that the camera moves and follows him to the other guy.
I guess I don't notice stuff like that.
Yeah. Guy.
I guess I don't notice stuff like that.
Yeah, I do. Flutter Boy,
Yep.
Landry. At first I thought it was Butter Boy, but the people who were going to pick up the guy who's testing the parachute, and then a lot of white goop in this.
Yep, the worm shoots goo.
Yeah. And there's a really weird awkward bit of the white goop. Like they find white goop on the boat, but there's that guy who was walking around, and he's panicking because his girl is gone. Maybe the monster took him. Maybe he did something. We're not going to get into that, because as far as the movie goes, something happened to his girl, and it's probably supposed to be the monster. But his shirt's like open, and when he collapses and falls, the cop's hand is in his shirt.
Oh.
The cop is like his hand, like as if like by accident on purpose, slips into the guy's shirt, and he's touching his chest, was where the white goop is, and he notices white goop. But he stuck his hand in his shirt.
Oops.
I did like the faces of the people who got shriveled by the monster.
Hollister.
When Hollister first pops up, and like his face, the way the eyes are, and the skin, those are really fun, cool sculpts, and they look really cool underwater. Same thing. When you see Jody again after she mates her thing, and she's all shriveled too. When Jody came on, I was like, oh man, Jody is so bad.
Bad, like a bad teenager.
Yeah, she's a bad girl.
Yeah, I like Jody.
Yeah, me too. Always like when you look up people on IMDb, and it's always great when their profile picture in IMDb
Yeah.
is a still with a monster in the movie you're watching.
Yeah, there are two of the actresses. Actresses had the
Yeah,
had
the other
monster
one
in
I
it.
think was the woman who played the wife of the guy who,
And
when the two divers, one of them got it.
I think the daughter too, the little girl.
Oh yeah,
The little girl with the oh man, there's a lot of things that really didn't make sense in this movie, but the little girl with her ladybug,
yes.
because like she kept talking about her ladybug, and I'm like, oh wait, maybe the monster is a ladybug, but it wasn't.
Or like it would convert.
I don't know.
Oh.
I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, it's ladybug is very special, very important.
It was.
Yeah, it's ladybug is very special, very important. I was kind of thinking like, you can buy ladybugs, like a
What?
yeah, you can buy like a it's like a small cottage cheese container of ladybugs.
Is it for like feeding frogs or something?
It's so like if you have like I remember when I was growing tomatoes, someone suggested trying ladybugs and like it's for like the aphids that are on the leaves, and like you open it up and suddenly ladybugs are everywhere. You're covered with ladybugs all over your arms. You're supposed to like release because they keep them in like a fridge, so they're slow.
Okay.
And you're supposed to release them at night, but California nights are still so warm in the summertime, so they just kind of went everywhere.
I had no idea.
So they wiped the goop and they kept it in like a.
Am I talking over him?
Cigarette.
No idea. No idea.
So they wiped the goop and they kept it in like a cigarette case. They're like, hey, here's the stuff.
Yeah, well, I don't know what that was. But that was.
I was like, okay, so science is the bad guy. It's like at first you're like, oh, this scientist is like being like, sure, it has nothing to do with what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh, is it going to be one of those kind of stories? And it wasn't. Like you're kind of like waiting to set up like
I feel
cover-ups or something, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, I feel like there was a lot of stuff set.
Like cover-ups or set up like cover-ups or something, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, I feel like there was a lot of stuff set up that there was no payoff for.
Right.
A big one later on that really let me down.